Hello, uh, ladies and gentlemen. So, today I decided I wanted to do a in-depth, or in-depth, however in-depth review of the Black Carded series Grand Toys, LJN, whatever you want to call it, 1989 figures. That's not all of them. I still need to get two out of the series. But today I wanted to do a individually review on these figures. So, yeah. So basically the first one that I will start out with for this review is the worst one out of the whole series, in my opinion. Really because of the pose. But as the first one I wanted to look at and do a re-review on these is the Ravishing Rick Rude, Mr. Rick Rude himself. So the Ravishing Rick Rude, it's weird. The rubber, first of all, is weird. The skin tone is weird. Yeah, I mean, and the worst out of it all, the pose. I mean, what are you supposed to do with him? Like, seriously, what are you supposed to do with Ravishing Rick Rude? How are you supposed to play with this? You know? I mean, all you really have to have is imagination, to be honest. But I mean, as a little kid and you see this for the first time, I mean, headbutts, drop kicks, maybe. I mean, flying cross bodies off the ropes. I mean, like, there's not really anything you could do with this figure, But yeah. So there's not really much you could really do, with Rick Rude. I hate to say it, I use him as a jobber because, again, there's not really much you could do. And when I play with it, I get a little creative. I'm like, okay, he could do some shoulder jabs, or, yeah, I mean, like, I get a little creative. You gotta use your mind when you play with these. You really do. But, you know, so, I like these figures, don't get me wrong, If you have a fucking imagination, you can make any goddamn thing work. Trust me. But, yeah, so Ravishing Rick Rude. His little tattoo, I guess, right there, well, used to be right there, kind of rubbed off from over time. But, some of the hair's missing, some of the mustache and eyebrows are kind of missing. But besides that, he's not a bad conditioned figure whatsoever. It's really not. It says Ravishing on both of the sides of his pants there. It says Ravishing on both sides. But, I guess you'd say the colorful pants he would wear and the pink boots. But yeah, it's really weird. He's like a very, very light pink kind of like tone, if it makes any sense. Not like a light like pink, but it's like it's a weird, like, I don't know if you would call it like a salmon type, like, skin tone that like a fish kind of has, but it's just it's it's really weird. So, but Ravishing Rick Rude. And again, the license on the bottom of his boot. It's all there. But it's just really weird. So, Ravishing Rick Rude. One of the best figures out of the series. And honestly, normally these figures go for crazy amount of prices normally. Crazy amount of prices. There's a reason they're, the most expensive out of every other freaking figures out of the series. But, including some, besides some figures out of the series. But there's a reason that, like, these are the most expensive to buy out of them all. There's a reason. But, besides all that, no other than Warlord. A great figure. A great figure. And again, these are going for a lot of money, but you won't believe the price that I paid for this figure. In my opinion, for this good a condition, not really that much. It really was a great price. I have legitimately seen these figures go for $1,000 in this condition without even being in the packaging. And if you really want to know, I'm going to give you a warning. If you don't want to know the price, because I know some people like, you're cocky, blah, blah, fucking blah. I'm going to give you a warning in 3, 2, 1. Now, the price I paid for this, some people would be like, well, that's a lot of money. But considering how good of condition he truly is, how good of condition, I paid $280. Yeah. Back when I got him, $280. I have seen a Warlord go for $500 in basically this condition, for $500. So, but yeah, so Warlord, again, a great figure. He has a little bit missing here and there. Not really much. A little bit on the back of him, a little bit for the boots. A tiny bit for the face, a tiny bit for the hair. But, yeah, besides that, though, a great condition figure. Again, he has a license on the bottom of his boot there. The little white marks is actually the date and the time when he came. Not the date and the time, but the year and, the trademark of when these came out. But, yeah, so Warlord, another great figure. From the Powers of Pain. I think, right? Yeah, the Powers of Pain. Again, in my opinion, some people don't like this figure because, again, it was made out of the really weird skin tone that basically the Ravishing Brick Rude figure has. Now, I will say, both of these figures are made out of a way harder rubber. So, like, for example, if I take Warlord, see how I can, kind of bend his fist in, right? I can bend it in, and it won't break and it won't crack. Well, for the figures like Rick Rude or this figure, over time, if you do that and you keep doing that, the figure, it'll just crack. It'll crack in the arm or the leg will just break off. It's because the rubbers they were made out of is a harder rubber. So, but, and one of the more harder rubber figures they made out of the Black Card series, the Ultimate Warrior. Now, I have made a couple of videos on this figure. It's honestly my favorite LJN. I don't know why it's my favorite LJN. I seriously do not know why. I think it's because the colorful aesthetic, the figure just, in my opinion, pops. It pops really good. Yeah, the Ultimate Warrior. Now, back when I got the Ultimate Warrior, the arm here, when I got it out of the box, it was like this. It had a little crack in the arm, and I said this millions of times in other videos. How I fixed that? Well, it wasn't like the arm was coming off or it broke off. It wasn't anything like that. It was just a little bit cracked. It had this tiny crack in his arm, and I'm like, what the fuck? So what I legitimately did was, I took some time, and neatly, so it doesn't get all over the place on the figure and it looks like fucking shit, I took some time and I did it as neat as I could, and I put some super glue down in there. Now, I bought this fucking super glue from eBay. It's not no ordinary super glue I guess you could go into the store and fucking buy. Because I don't know if it melted down the rubber or what, but it basically kind of molded the arm back on, if that makes any sense. So I put this ultimate fucking, I don't know, super glue or some shit in his arm, and yeah, it basically fixed it. It molded the arm legitly back onto the figure, which was weird. It molded that area where it was cracked, and it legitly molded it back on. So I don't again, I don't know if it was fucking melting glue or I have no fucking clue. But yeah, and as you could see, I could legitimately bend it, and not bend it, but I can really be rough with the arm, and it won't, so it's like it won't break off, which is very, very cool. And I like that, you know? So whatever glue I bought, I thought it was just regular super glue. I don't know what the fuck type of glue I fucking bought, but whatever I bought was some really freaking heavy duty shit. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyways, besides all that, yeah, and it's weird if you, like I said, if you try to bend the Ultimate Warrior's arms or his legs, and they'll crack. They'll crack and they'll just break off, which is really weird. But you could play with this figure like any other LJN figure. You can play with this thing freaking super rough and it won't break when you play with it super rough. But if you try to bend his arm in or bend his leg or something, it'll crack. It'll legitimately crack and it'll completely break off, which is so weird, you know? But, yeah, and again, before I even fixed the arm, before I even did that, I played with this figure so many times, and the arm didn't break, it didn't crack, before I even glued it. But, yeah, it's just weird. So, but, yeah. Here's a more up-close look at the Ultimate Warrior. He does have some face paint missing, and blah, 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 but I mean, but here's the Ultimate Warrior. The front side of him. Here's the back side of the Ultimate Warrior figure, Has a little bit of his butt showing, I guess you would say. But, then here is the bottom of the Ultimate Warrior's foot. License is all there, too. I'll actually read it to you. Titan Sports Inc., 1989, Grand Toys Ltd., made in China, is what it says. So, but yeah, it's really weird. So if you ever have an Ultimate Warrior figure and you're wondering why all of a sudden he has a crack in his leg or his arm, just know the person that had it beforehand, whoever you bought it from, was playing with it, and that's why. So, but, yeah, just really weird. But, Ultimate Warrior. So, now, the last figure out of my LJN figures that I have for the Blackheart series or Grand Toys. This one, it took me a long time to get this one. A long time to get this one, and not gonna lie, it wasn't in the best of condition when I got him. But, took me a while to really find this figure for a good price. Not chewed or not where the license is scratched off or anything. It took me a while. And it took me a while to not find a fake. Yeah. So, anyways, this figure is no other than the Blackstrap Andre from the Blackhearted series. Now you're saying, what the hell? Why does he kind of have purplish eyebrows, and why is, I don't know if you can really see, but there is some purple, spots on his body there and stuff. Well, originally when I got him, he was not painted at all. He had a bunch of paint missing for his trunks, a bunch of paint missing for the actual singlet, and I know when you repaint these, it ruins the value, but look, I'm not gonna sell these. And it just looks better. But anyways, when I got it, before I even repainted it, the person that had this figure before me, believe it or not, used a Sharpie. Now, I don't know what it is with Sharpies, but over time, when I guess you take a Sharpie and you go over something that's already has black paint on it, it'll turn purple. I don't know why. Or I don't know if it's just something that happened with the figure, I don't know. But the person that had this figure before me gave him purplish looking eyebrows, I guess with a marker, and the singlet was missing a bunch of paint, but under it, under the belly and under the backside here of his trunks and everything, had a bunch of purple spots, dark purple spots, and I'm like, what the hell? You know? So I'm like, well, I'm going to cover that up with a bunch of black paint, and I did. And it looks so much better now. He doesn't have a bunch of fucking purple spots all over him, at least now. You know? But, yeah. So I tried to take off the purple eyebrows here. I tried using soap and water. I tried using freaking, rubbing alcohol, baby wipes, you name it. Nothing will work. So I guess Andre's gonna have purple eyebrows forever. That is what it is, though. You know? But this is the real Andre the Giant. How you can tell that it's the real actual Blackstrap Andre and it's not no fake? Well, here's a hint. If this was actually the Series 2 Andre the Giant figure, the teeth would be painted white. They'd be painted white. First of all, mine are not painted white, as you can see. And the Series 2 Andre the Giant would not have the license on the bottom of the foot there, as you could see. So, so that's one way how you can tell that this is the real figure. The Series 2, first of all, would have the teeth painted, and the license wouldn't be there on the bottom of its foot. Now, if you look at the back of them, probably won't really see it that well, but there actually is a stamp on the back of them that does say Titan Sports Inc. 1985 LJN, or 86. No, 86, I'm sorry. 1986 is it 85 or 86? 86. 1986 LJN, LTD. And it has a PL on it for some odd reason. A PL. But, yeah. Basically, they took the mold from the Series 2 Andre, and they just used it for the Blackstrap Andre, basically, and just gave him the license on the bottom of the boot. So, anyways, that's the LJN Black Carded Series figures revisited. Leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more. Bye-bye now. Camera feed's about to go out.